96.7, Fridays 6 to 8 p.m. Cultural mix, everything cultural. Tune in. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
You've got to give this. I'm standing 10 feet tall.
The Spicy Hill Community Clinic is now in Duncan's. Join Dr. Donaldson and friends on Saturday, February 27th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Stephen James Infant School in Duncan's, Trelawny for Community Health Clinic. Get your doctor checkup, eye screening, pap smear, HIV and syphilis test, blood pressure check, blood sugar check, NHF card application. Donate blood at our blood drive and learn about blood pressure and blood sugar management. Registration fee is only $1,000. This community health clinic is brought to you with the kind support of Trelawny Cooperative Credit Union, Phoenix Health and Vision Care Center, Jamaica Cancer Society, Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, Carib Sales, Duncan's Bakery, Hillside Enterprise, AJAG Hardware, and the Gentle Touch of Care Training Institute. Fit FM 96.7 will be there to bring live updates throughout the day. All COVID-19 protocols will be observed. That's the Spicy Hill Community Clinic coming to Duncan's at the Stephen James Infant School on Saturday, February 27th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with live coverage from Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Set this up, we mean this. Yeah, so you come get your tablet. And all when you left man, you have to come back. Call me, know you have to buy one of them your laptop. Best of business, a serious business. We sell all electrical appliances. And all of your car accessories. Come a bed stop, you know no problem.
Best Apps Technology. Shop 25 Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawny. Telephone 876-394-5484. Best Apps. We only deliver the best.
Smarts Auto Company Limited is Trelawny's leading auto parts store for all your Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, and Subaru parts. You want it, we have it. Come check us out for all your windscreen insulation, tires, and all those hard-to-get parts. 2021 is your year to get your dream car. Smarts Auto introduces its Car Mart located at Lower Cornwall Street, Falmouth, Trelawny. Call us at 805-4966 or 376-5385. Smart people, smart choice, Smarts Auto.
Do you operate a small business in Trelawny? Well, talk to us. Be a proud community partner of Fit FM 96.7. Let us help you reach your target audience for an unbelievably low cost. Contact our sales office today at 876-544-0791, 876-377-3442, or email us at fitfmsales@gmail.com. Fit FM 96.7, Trelawny's radio. Your life, your music.
So here I am, the controversial Ed Wallace. I'm on Community Buzz every Monday afternoon from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Fit FM 96.7. Call me. Our number is 876-482-4944. Let us discuss topics affecting your community: education, health, community development, infrastructure, and anything else. Remember, Community Buzz, Mondays 3 to 6 on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Under the pressures of your life and it tough. Now stay down, mama, time pick it up.
This is Fit FM.
Fit FM 96.7.
But I got live with me watch. Check. But the ads are playing.
Just keep this music going.
Yeah. Should I look like I'm panicking? Huh? Should I look like I'm panicking?
No, you guys don't need to panic because we are on it. Just that I'm doing anything on the monitor, and I don't want to.
Oh Lordy,
What happened?
it's picking up everything we were saying.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. I don't pick up anything on the monitor. In the studio, it's like I don't do anything. Let's do this.
I tell you, anything man make can give us trouble sometimes. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are on Community Buzz, your community affairs program on Fit FM Live. Yeah. 96.7. If you ever see the amount of energy that my producer is putting into getting us up and running. Yeah, so welcome to Community Buzz this afternoon on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon, kind of warmish. So I guess all my friends in New York and Canada and all them places, Bex. No, they're not Vex, Bex. Bex with it. Yeah, man, what greetings. And listen, we'll bottle some sunshine and send it to you. We will bottle some, definitely. Just put in your orders. All right. Now, remember, we are on 96.7 FM. We're on the Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. All your social media platforms. So just check us out right there. And if you're on Facebook, though, stay with us. We'll like the company. Right? So I'd like to say some greetings. And, I greet all our listeners this afternoon again, because without you all, this show just don't go on. So we want to thank you for listening. What we would want from you is a little bit more participation. To call us up sometimes at 876-482-4944. I tell you, that number has become my personal number, and I'm making mistakes giving that out as my person. What's your number, Ed? 876-482-4944. So we're going to be doing some WhatsApping on that. Send us your text message and all of that kind of a thing. You may have noticed too that my voice is kind of hoarsish. I don't know what caused that. By the way, a happy Valentine's Day to everybody. All my HTHS, that's Homewood Technical High School sweeties. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. All my other friends, girlfriends, people who love me, people who I love. Happy Valentine's Day, even though it's belated. But I certainly hope that you all had a good one. And all the things, the positive things, the positive things that could come out of your Valentine's Day celebration did indeed materialize. I want to give a special shout out to our guests, because this evening, this afternoon, that is, we are likely to have about 3 guests. So we're having Dr. Thorpe to speak on COVID, and Dr. Thorpe just finished a presentation too in the States. So she has come back now, and she's gonna share some information with us this afternoon concerning as I leave. My producer just knocked me in the head, said, people not to leave go nowhere nowadays, Zoom presentation is there. So Doc is gonna share with us the information that she shared with the rest of the world recently on COVID, and that is going to be a very informative conversation. We're going to also have Mrs. Audrey Nelson. Mrs. Audrey Nelson is of JAS fame, and she is going to be talking about Hague Show in a little bit. I'm going to have a little chat about what is happening with that. Some of you may have already heard the news about Hague Show for this year, but Mrs. Nelson and I, we're going to have a conversation about Hague Show and see what really is happening there. And then we're going to have Mrs. Trelawny K. Spencer Smith. So let me try that again. Mrs. Trelawny K. Spencer Smith of the Mushet High School here in Trelawny, the 4-H club there. And she just did her school under our parish proud in a recent gardening competition. And really, my love for the gardening thing. So she's going to come and she's going to tell us some of the things that she did in order to, to win this competition and to have been able to go to Western region to collect her winnings. So we're looking forward to that conversation with Mrs. Smith. And just want to say hi, hello, big up to all the Mushet High School folks, both staff, students, past students, ancillary, everybody in the school, principal, everybody. Jano Martin, yeah, retired, I think, but yeah, still a Mushet person. Hello to you too. Birthdays. I didn't say any birthdays that I could note, but I want to wish all persons having birthdays in the last week a happy birthday, as usual. And I shouldn't say as usual, because every day I say it, every Monday I say this. It is special, it is meaningful, and I would love for you to believe us here at Fit FM that we do wish you God's richest blessings. Now wake up yet, God's richest blessings on your birthday, as you embark on this new year of your life. I never take notice all the day them short, like some hours take out of the days. And I mean, it's not like some of the days it's not like you're doing anything, and days that should be boring because you don't have much doing, just floops, right? That is not the cause of the light bill coming quicker, man. That is not the cause of the light bill. But yeah, the day is short. So, and when I see things like this, boy, I'm going to Sunday school, I'm taking a lesson and big time, apart from the fact that I'm a Christian, from little baby boy, about 14 years of Sunday school I'm taking, William the Baptist Church. And just about all the messages that could be brought, yeah. Just about all the messages that could be brought, because have you have you ever wondered? Seriously, have you ever wondered? Well, no, seriously, but come on, let me hold this. Have you ever wondered, seriously, folks, why the teacher taught and not the preacher brought? So, oh God, the preacher preached, the teacher taught. So, anyhow, but I and just not in the church building, but you hear this matter of signs of the time and shortening of the time for the sake of the elect and all of that kind of thing. So when you see this kind of thing happening, believe you me, Julia, it brings back to mind that, perilous times shall come, perilous times like with Andrea, and other people.
Yes.
And so it just brings to mind that. But notwithstanding the shortness of the time, we're gonna again wish you God's richest blessings as you pursue your new year of life, and that you'll get all the successes that life can bring to you. May all your dreams come true. On a matter of anniversary, I'm not recalling any anniversary now that I could speak to, but second, wait, no man, wait. People are not always here bothering Pastor Rotti. Yesterday, now, or was it this morning? I saw a memory post on Facebook from him with a little girl in a hugging position. Hear me now. Wait there. So quick, baby already, and so grown. But then again, they're not still grown nowadays. Congratulations, Pastor. Him not get me yet, so I don't know how that is going to blow out eventually. But Julia is pushing me, Pastor Rotti, to celebrate a 4-month anniversary here. So happy, but anniversary I mean year. I pray that things are going as fine as they ought to. I know that you've been going through the fire with your congregation, and we just want to continue to wish you all the best. So other than that, other people are having anniversaries for this year. We want to again congratulate you and to wish you all the best as you embark on another year of achievements. All right, whether it be marriage, whether it be a work anniversary, whatever good thing that happened in your life a year ago and you're celebrating it this week, we celebrate with you. Loss. We're still mourning the loss of Tony Moncrief, my cousin and friend to so many of us, even family to many of us too, because Tony family is very big. And his funeral will be on the 19th of February. 15th of February today. 19th of February. And it's the way it's going to be done. We're going to be having a memorial service at the church. His remains will not be in the church, but then we'll leave the memorial service at the church and then move to the Mathbury Cemetery where the rest of the event will continue and we put to rest. May his soul rest in peace. I also neglected last week to tell Faye Bailey and Bernadette Bailey and all of those people up at Rusty Town, Hopewell, Upper Homo Technical High School Hill, that we really are sorry for your loss, but I suspect that with the passing of Mr. Bailey, a very good man, a man that I could call my father, and then he would become the grandfather of my children. Mr. Bailey passed, but Mr. Bailey and his wife, Mrs. Bailey, they were responsible for taking care of my children while they were attending Howard Technical. But all of we go home. I mean, Faye Bailey, Bernadette Bailey, all them kind of people. So we're family, and we mourn with you. We're sorry for your loss, but it was a good life and a good score. So we thank God for everything in that. A lot of people don't get to have their parents around so long to give them the love and care they need. They don't have them around for so long that we can return the love and care to them. And I'm certain that the whole family was returning love to Mr. Bailey and continues to return love to Mrs. Bailey. All right. And just want to say thanks to that family for what the whole family has done for my family in terms of my son and my daughter. Yeah. May he rest in peace. All right. So since we're coming up quickly on the 3:30 moment, I'm just gonna move to how far are we from 3:30? 10 minutes? Okay. All right. So minutes of the meeting last week we dealt with COVID-19 as usual. Crime and murders. We dealt with that last week too. And this program is committed to not allowing the bad thing that happened in church to go passing as a 9-day wonder. And we're still calling on the authorities to do whatever it can to ensure that justice is done and to ensure also that we do everything in terms of preventive measures regarding the murders that we're experiencing. No, this is not a part of the minutes, but it happened this week. I think yesterday, the police are reporting that they found a couple dead in Portmore. And, you know, it's just funny. It doesn't just rain, it pours, because that finding took place at in close proximity to an NCB bank there in Portmore. And the bloodletting continues. So I don't know what we're going to do, except to say to you, last week we went at length about it. And I'm saying to you, formulate your groups. If you have to initiate something, I beg the Prime Minister, I beg the government to bring us into their confidence so that we can do the planning and the setup of a crime plan on the front end of the issue. You know, we can talk about it. We can share our input, even if the government will not utilize our ideas, but give us a chance to participate, a genuine chance to participate in the formulation of any such plan. And I hope that if the government moves to do that, that we ourselves now will take the opportunity to come together as communities, excuse me, to come together as communities and to participate in the formulation of such a plan, as well as to participate in the actual activities that should bring about a reduction in the level of violence that we're facing in Jamaica today. We also, we went at length again about Mrs. Garwood. So I say, we're not allowing this one to rest, because everything we say about crime now is in honor and memory of Mrs. Garwood, because we're not allowing it to be a 9-day wonder. We're going to be talking about it days and days and days. Incidentally, I must congratulate the police, Community Buzz, Fit FM 96.7, must congratulate the police on the splendid work that the police has been doing. When we say police, we use has a have. Which one? Singular verb, singular noun. Police have. Police have, right. Because I just said has. So, yeah. So the work that the police have been doing in relation to solving this this heinous crime and bringing people to justice. So there have been activities over the last week, and I'm certain there will be more activities as the courts and the system of justice, the wheel of justice, turns to resolve this particular issue. So again, I want to say, stay strong, family and church of Mrs. Garwood, Fit FM 96.7 and Community Buzz stands with you, kneels with you, pray with you, and share in your grief. Now, COVID-19. I'm happy to say that we're going to have Dr. Thorpe this afternoon, because what is happening now look real. We're looking at 19,305 COVID cases in Jamaica, with enough of them, very enough of them happening over the last 2 weeks or so. No say go, producer. Very enough of them. Now, granted, we have 6,096 active cases, but daily what we're running is 270, 200 and enough, 300. Yesterday, last 24 hours, we saw 270 cases. St. James having 22. St. James, St. Anne are having 19. Manchester, bordering us on the south, having 38. St. Elizabeth bordering again on the south, having 16. St. Catherine, not bordering, but having 73 cases, and Trelawny, 16. So we're going to talk to Dr. Thorpe right about now. We're going to bring her in on this issue and to just say hi, hello.
She is the doctor for program too. Health matters.
Yes, she is also the doctor for. She's a colleague. Let me just say it right out. She's a colleague, so she is the pediatrician for Health Matters on Friday morning here on Fit FM 96.7. Oh, that's it near taps and all those. Dr. Thorpe, how are you? Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me on the program.
Yes.
On a Monday afternoon.
You are
I'm not used to this time of the day. You know?
I suspect, but you are very welcome, and I'm particularly happy to have you here on Community Buzz, Fit FM 96.7. As Julia always tell me, your life, your music. Yeah, Doc.
Yes, sir.
I am in a kind of a quandary. I know you just recently did a presentation, because in our pre-discussion, Julia made me privy to that. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of your presentation on what you can present to us on radio, I want to ask you this question. What is causing this COVID run at this point in time? I know of no event in the last 3-4 weeks that Jamaicans participated in that should drive these COVID numbers the way it's been driven. Can you enlighten us?
I think that has to be answered. When tests are being done. My take on the whole thing is I think it's a combination. I believe people have become kind of lax in terms of carrying out, the protective, wearing masks and all that kind of stuff. But what I would like to know is, are we seeing more of the variants? Are we seeing more of the variants?
I was about to ask you that. I was about to ask you that.
That question we cannot answer unless the tests are being done on the cases. They have to send those tests off, I think, to Trinidad. Mm-hmm. But I think despite we're seeing it, I would not be surprised when those results come back. You find a significant number of them, because we know the new variants tend to spread much faster than the other variants, and my feeling is that's what's happening. But also people have become just quite lax, in what they're doing. But, the sudden spike over the last week or two, I don't think it's just parties and all that. I would not be surprised. Mm. Although the the CMO says it's not due to variants, I would not be surprised if that's kind of contributing to the whole thing.
All right. This conversation between us is running very fast, because right now we're just going to get into it then, and tell us a little bit about the information that you presented in your recent presentation on Zoom in relation to COVID.
Yeah, but before I get into that, something, I still don't think people get when you have a new virus coming into a community, what it can do. And I want to take people back to 2014 when they had Chick-V. I don't know if you remember Chick-V.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I mean, how many people you knew who had Chick-V, or did you have it?
I got one of them. I don't know if it was Chick-V or Zick-V, but I got one of them because I left the country and was so afraid that I would not be able to come back home because I was in Dominica at the time, stricken with fever in the hotel. So I remember
I was out of the country, and you come back. I used to come like twice a year. And let me tell you something, man, because it was a new virus and people did not have immunity against it. I mean, like everybody I spoke to, man. I mean, when they talk about when it hit them and they can't move and they can't go to the bathroom, but Chick-V affected 80% of Jamaicans. When they did studies later, 80%, 8 out of 10 people had Chick-V because it was a new virus. The difference with Chick-V is that 50% of the people knew they had it. They got so sick that they knew they had Chick-V. The thing with COVID-19, which is a new virus and can spread, maybe to as many people as Chick-V, most people have it and don't know. And so I think that's why people kind of hear about COVID-19 and they say, it's not going to happen to me. It's not real and all that kind of stuff.
But you could be carrying. You could be carrying and don't know.
Sorry, what is that?
So you could be carrying and don't know it.
Right. And spread it, and stuff like that. So that's one of the differences. But it's a new virus. None of us were immune. And many of us potentially can come down with it. So we need to take it seriously. The other thing is COVID-19 is more deadly. Chick-V didn't really kill people, just make people sick and have arthritis. So, but more people that get infected with COVID. So please take it seriously. What I want to talk about today, though, is the big thing is the vaccines that we have. And one thing I must tell the listeners out there: we doctors are not any different than the public. We have the same concerns. We have the same questions. We are learning about the virus just like how the public is learning about the virus.
Yes.
So, some of the questions that people have out there are the same questions we doctors have.
Yes.
It's just that we can maybe explain things a little bit better. So, guys, we're on the same boat, in terms of questions and whatever. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about the vaccines and that is out there and the ones that's coming to Jamaica.
But before you talk about the vaccine, though, Doc, because that kind of structure to talk about the virus itself a little bit before, is there anything new apart from the fact that this new strain? Is there anything new, any new information in relation to COVID-19, and particularly with respect to the strain that you can tell us about? I know you just said we're all learning kind of in tandem with each other, but is there anything new?
So, let me tell you something. Whenever I'm going to read about COVID-19, the first thing I look is what date was this published. Yeah. Anything that was published more than a week ago, as far as I'm concerned, is stale. I mean,
yeah,
it's changing day. It's changing day by day. Trust me, guys, it's changing day by day. I mean, certain things are the same. We know COVID-19, I said most people are not immune, so most people can get it. We know adults tend to get it more, and they tend to get sicker than children. Children get mild disease, but children can also spread the disease to adults. Funny enough, what they have found out is although children can get it and spread it, they don't tend to spread it as much as adults. So adults get it more, get sicker, and they spread it more than children do. But children can still spread it. Okay. So those things have not really changed. One thing people may not know about a virus cannot exist forever outside of another organism. It cannot survive forever. It has to get into like our bodies for it to replicate. So if we can keep that virus out of our body, guess what? That virus will basically disappear eventually. But that's not happening because people are just not, we can't protect ourselves 100%. one of the things we should know too is virus they're always mutating. I mean, they're always, changing their form. I mean, 1,000 times. But most times when it happens, it's such a very small change. You do not know it's really happening. It don't really matter.
Okay.
But we have been having these variants now. So this is the new kid on the block. There's so much mutation occurring in the strains now that it's changing its characteristic. It's a lot more infectious. They're not sure if it's more deadly. But what's happening now, the new kid on the block are these vaccines going to be effective?
Ouch.
Against these new variants?
Ouch.
That is the big question.
Ouch.
And in particular, the South African strain. The one in the UK seems fine, but the South African strain, and this just came out over the weekend. You can stop. You can stop me anytime you guys want.
No.
Yeah.
We're in awe.
So let me tell you.
Because wait a second, Doc. You see, when you say, one second. When you say the South African strain and the European strain, I'm kind of worried now that there are going to be again now as many strains as we have vaccines. Yeah. So tell us about the strains you were saying.
Let me tell you. So let me tell you how to get these strains. As I say, these viruses, for them to survive, they say, you know what, man, you guys know about my old self. For me to survive in someone, I'm going to change some. In other words, the genetic makeup of the virus changes, and it changes so that it can survive longer in different people, because after time your body will produce antibodies against the old strain, and so the virus is trying to trick you.
But the virus, what drives the change? Because the virus is now seeming intelligent. It wants to stay around, so it mutates. What drives the mutation?
Mutation. Well, as long as it's replicating, the faster the virus replicates, double, triple itself.
I got you.
Then the likelihood is for you to have a different change in the genetic makeup,
especially 7 generations down the line.
Right. So if we can stop the virus from replicating, from infecting as many more people, the more people it affects, the more it replicates, the more strains you're going to end up with. And the more chance you have of having a strain that, the vaccines are not going to work against. So that's how viruses work. The flu virus works. This is why the flu virus is not that effective, because every year it changes. It may be 30% effective, because by the time you make that vaccine, guess what? It has changed. It has mutated. So mutation is a common feature of viruses. And the more it replicates, the faster it replicates, the more chance you have of new strains coming out.
Okay.
So that's a common thing. So what's happening now? People were not worried about all these new strains before until the one in UK came up and the one in South Africa. What they have found out over the weekend with the South African one is that people who have had the coronavirus naturally, and when you have the virus naturally, you build up antibodies against that particular virus that you were exposed to.
Yes.
What they've been finding recently is that even those people who had COVID-19 before and had antibodies against the virus, this South African strain or variant is so different that even those people potentially can become infected with this new variant and come down with COVID again.
Second round of COVID.
Yeah, because the strain, the variant is so different that the body don't recognize it and can't attack it efficiently as the old strain. Can you get that?
We're in awe. We're still in.
Are you on board with me?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So not only those who had the COVID-19 antibodies is not working as it should, but the vaccines that were produced to basically produce antibodies against the other strain of COVID-19, just about all the vaccines are not as efficacious or effective as they were with the original strain of the virus. The one we're getting in Jamaica, the AstraZeneca one in particular, they found out that when they gave it to people in South Africa, that it was not really attacking the the South African variant as well as it should. But guess what?
Oh,
All the
gosh.
vaccines are less effective against this variant in South Africa. The only one that shows some promise is the Johnson and Johnson, which has not been approved as yet. So that's a new kid on the block in terms of what's happening with COVID-19. These variant strains are worrying a lot of scientists because we don't know where it's going to go. We don't know if it's going to be more deadly. We know it's more contagious, and will all these vaccines, So let me tell you something, guys. So you hear the vaccine is not as effective as, whatever. But wouldn't you rather take something that is 40% effective? Yeah, it should be maybe 70, 80% effective. Wouldn't you rather take something that's 40% effective than nothing at all? Yes or no?
Let me tell you something, Doctor. You make a good point with a question, but there are a lot of fears going around now, some heightened fears going around about taking these vaccines. But you make a good point. 40% protection is better than none. That's simple logic.
So let me go. So let me go ahead and talk about what I think some of the fears are. One of the things is, can you get COVID-19 from the vaccine? Is that one of the things you're thinking about?
That is one question.
So answer that question. Let me hear what your answer is.
No, Doc, let me tell you, I am at a loss when it comes to COVID and the progression that I've been seeing all along. Because your question, repeat the question, please.
Can you get COVID-19 infection from the vaccine?
I believe you can, depending on how your body reacts to it. Under normal circumstances, no. But depending on how your body respond to the vaccine, because isn't that pushing the actual virus into your body?
but they are not. They are not putting the virus into your body. You see, that's where people. That's up there. So let me tell you a little bit more about the vaccine. Then, and I don't want to be. But by the way, I had, when they're talking about DNA and mRNA, I had to go back to my old school to look up all this kind of stuff, such complicated terms. So listen, none of the vaccines have the virus. You cannot get the virus from the vaccine. None of the vaccines is made from the virus.
Okay.
Okay, 100%.
Okay. All right.
What they have done, and to keep it very, 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 very simple. What they introduced into our body is what they call mRNA, messenger RNA. What messenger RNA it does, it's a blueprint. It tells the body how to make proteins. It's like a blueprint. It says put this and this together, and you end up with this protein. What they found out with the COVID-19 vaccine is the part of the virus that attacks the body and enters your cell is a spike protein. You remember when you see what the virus look like, it has spikes.
Yes.
That's why they call it corona. It looks like a crown.
Yes.
Well, the spike protein on the virus is what basically attaches to your cell and cause infection.
Okay.
So what they decided to do is, can we somehow manufacture a portion of the spike protein, make it up, and then once your body sees that portion of the protein, now the protein cannot give you infection. It can't make you sick. But what it can do, it can tell your body, you know what? I'm not a normal part of your body. Build up your antibodies and attack me and destroy me. So what they have done, and this messenger RNA stuff, the technology has been around for decades. They've used it in cancer research and all that, but it's new for vaccines. What they have done is they introduce this messenger RNA into your body. It gets into your cell, and it cannot give you infection, but it tells your cell, you know what? Make up some of these spike proteins for me. A portion of the spike protein. Make up a whole lot of this.
So let me see if I can simplify that for myself and some of our listeners.
Okay.
Are you saying that this vaccine now goes into the body and create a mock war, so that body itself now produces antibodies, so that when the real attack comes along, they are able to respond?
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
But unlike other vaccines where they actually take a part of the real virus and kind of change it, and then introduce that into you. They actually send in a messenger RNA. So your body produces the protein.
Okay.
And then your body attacks it, and then you produce antibody against it.
Okay.
So you cannot get the
disease from the virus from the vaccine. All right, go ahead.
No, you can't.
Go ahead.
Another question that people have is suppose you had COVID-19 a few months ago. You had the natural infection and the vaccine.
Yes.
Should you take the vaccine? Yes or no?
I think yes, because you answered that earlier. You said that there are people who got it, and with this new strain, they're getting it again.
Yeah, but even though the new strain, they don't know. But when your body builds up natural antibodies against, even they don't know how long those antibodies last. They think that those antibodies will last for 12 months or more, but they don't know because we just had the vaccine like 6 months. So the recommendation is even if you had the vaccine, even if you had the disease, it's recommended you get the vaccine because your antibody may not be lasting very long. And even when you get the vaccine, they're not sure how long those antibodies will last. They're thinking maybe every 12 months we may have to just like with the flu vaccine, we may have, but all this is new. All this is being studied. You understand? So, what about
learning in real time? Learning in real time.
Yeah, man. What about if you're pregnant, or breastfeeding? And I know you can't be pregnant, but for the women out there, should they take the vaccine? What do you think?
I think they should take it because if they're breastfeeding, just by virtue of contact with the baby, they can spread the disease.
All right, that was a kind of trick.
Yes,
that was kind of a trick question. That was kind of a trick question because what happened? First of all, these vaccines are being studied.
Wait, Doc. I don't know why you make me look dunce for the people in program.
Come again.
I don't want you to make me look dunce duncer than I am on the people in program. So the trick question.
No, man, that's a trick question because you know what? When they did a study with the vaccines, let me tell you guys, these vaccines went through a lot of rigorous evaluation and study. Although the time seemed short, but they did not shorten the tests that need to be done. It's just that because they had funds and everything ready and the technology was there, they could move fairly quickly with it. What happened is when they did a study on these thousands of people, they did not include pregnant women in the study.
Oh, okay.
So they can't give it, just like with children. You can't give it to children now because studies were not done on kids less than 16 years of age. They have to do the study on these people before they can say, yes, go ahead and do it. When it comes to pregnancy, however, what they do know is if you're pregnant and you get COVID-19 infection, if you get a natural infection, then first of all, you have a high incidence of premature babies, but also these pregnant women tend to get sicker. They tend to be hospitalized, ICU and all that. So it's really left up to the woman, but if they get a natural COVID infection, they can become much more sick from the infection. And so it's recommended, they don't think, because it's not a live vaccine, they're thinking it's safe for a pregnant woman to actually get the vaccine.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. You were about to say.
All right. So let's talk about children. Can children be vaccinated? And I kind of alluded to that.
Yes, you did.
They're actually doing studies on kids 6 years and above to see children are not little adults. Okay. Yes. And you have to do the test on children to see how much you need to give and how effective it is. So I think in the next few months they're going to come up and say, yeah, it's okay for kids to get it, and what the dose is going to be. If it's the same adult dose or less or whatever. So right now, the one we're getting is only for 18 years and above that can actually get it, because the study was not done. But now they're doing study on children
So,
to see, if they can get it.
so we will continue to have a population of below 18 still at risk.
Yeah, and talk about that. You brought up a very important point. So when you get the vaccine, does that mean you're not at risk anymore?
And please, pray tell. Pray tell.
Exactly. Yeah, the way in which the studies were done, especially with the Pfizer and the Moderna, the one which has been approved in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They gave the people the vaccine, and then what they had the people reporting is if they had any symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
They would call it and say, yeah, I got a headache, I can't smell, I can't taste, I have fever, whatever. So let me ask you a question. Can you be infected and don't have symptoms?
Indeed, because there is the asymptomatic kind of process.
Exactly. And if you're infected, can you spread it?
Yes, you certainly can.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're getting it all right, man. Come on, you're doing great. So what happened?
I am not liking
the
exams.
way in which the study was designed, it was not really looking to see if you become infected, yes or no. In fact, the only one that kind of did swabs was the AstraZeneca, the Oxford, the one that we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
They actually swabbed people to see whether they became infected, yes or no. And in their study, they found that there was actually a decrease in infection. So not only did it lessen people getting severe symptoms and moderate symptoms and hospitalization, but there was a decrease in, it lessened the amount of people who actually became infected, so they can't spread it. But until enough people is immunized and all that, we all have to still wear our mask, wash our hands, keep our distance, because the vaccines are not 100% effective. And, we can still get a mild case of it. And if we get infected, we can still spread it to other people. So it's not a cure. It's just really helping us through this bad period, but you still have to wear a mask and wash your hands when we get our vaccine.
All right, Doc, we have several vaccines on the market now. I understand both Cuba and China also have vaccines.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Someone was calling in. Go ahead.
Okay. There are several vaccines now. And in fact, we have heard that Cuba and China also have vaccines. Do you have a comment on the vaccines coming out of those countries?
I do not know. I'm not sure I did not study what kind of technique they use, because you have different technologies. We talk about these genetic ones, but other people are trying other methods to develop vaccine. I'm not familiar with.
Okay.
Put it this way, though, the CDC and all those things, they are the ones who are really looking into all these vaccines, and then they make recommendations to people, countries like us, and then we go by what they say, kind of stuff. But one country was developing a nasal spray, for instance.
I think I recall seeing an article about that.
All of those things, I think time will tell, because who wants to be injected and all that stuff if you don't have to be injected.
Okay.
But I would wait on the scientists to really check out these vaccines before we go, and necessarily get it.
With these different vaccines.
Go ahead.
With these different vaccines, you've said that Jamaica is getting one particular vaccine. No. What is your thought in relation to having all kind of different vaccines from different source for this one small country?
for anybody, really. So this, well, another question I have for you is if you get one vaccine, and because most of these vaccines you need 2 doses. If you get one type of vaccine for the first dose, can you get the
that's
second
a complication.
dose?
That's a big question. That's a complication that I'm not even going near yet.
There are many vaccines we have out there now, like hepatitis B vaccines, where you have more than one manufacturer, more than one type of vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
So having more than one vaccine for one disease is not that uncommon.
Okay.
Think about the polio. You remember the polio vaccine?
Yes, yes.
You have the one that you drink, the syrupy one you drink, and then you have the injection. It's two different vaccines, but
Okay.
both of them work very well.
Okay.
My
Okay.
thing is, once it is effective and the side effects, are not horrendous or anything like that, anyone I get, I'll be happy with it. And I'm going to talk about side effects in a second because it's very important.
All right, before we run to side effects,
Go ahead.
there is this situation that exists that some of these vaccines have to be frozen or kept below some sub-zero
minus
numbers.
70 degrees.
How does that impact now?
Let me get into that with you because I didn't understand why. So this messenger RNA thing I was telling you about, it has to be enveloped. It has to be protected by something when you inject it into the body, or as soon as it gets into the body will destroy it and it won't be able to do its work. So the Pfizer and the Moderna, what they did was they got this messenger RNA and they embedded it in fat, or they call it lipid, for it to enter the body and for it to last long enough for it to do its work and then to be killed. Now that lipid covering, for it to be viable, that is what required. The Pfizer required is minus 70 degrees. So that lipid covering can actually last and it's not broken down. The Moderna, you don't need that cold a temperature for that lipid cover. They have a different kind of lipid that they cover the messenger RNA in. So that's why you need to have these ridiculously low temperature. The one we're getting can be stored in a regular refrigerator. It can last 6 months. It's not as finicky as these other vaccines. And this is one of the good things about AstraZeneca is that anybody, any doctor's office can have it. You don't have to have special refrigeration. But it's that envelope that the messenger RNA is in. Why it have these extremely frigid temperature to keep it viable.
Yes. So
you understand? You understood that?
Yes, I understand. The fact of the matter is that it is the actual vaccine is enveloped in lipids, fat,
right,
to protect it. So that, but I think I also see another logic, because as soon as that kind of temperature protection is removed, the fats immediately dissipate.
Yeah, it can stick around for a little while, but eventually it's going to disappear. But when you inject it into somebody, it lasts long enough for the messenger RNA to get into the cell and do what it has to do.
And
but you have to be very careful how you handle that vaccine. So can I quickly talk about side effects?
Of course, that is what we're looking forward to now. Side effects.
Yeah. Let's talk about side effects now. By the way, the phase 3 study is ongoing. Although they've released these vaccines on emergency, they're going to study side effects for up to 12 months. So the study is not finished as yet, okay? However, for the 6 months or so that we have had some of these vaccines around, and let's kind of talk about the Pfizer. The Pfizer one is the one that you had some people having some severe allergic reaction. Okay? But most people, when you give them any one of the vaccines, they're going to have what we call a local reaction. You're going to have some pain, some swelling, some redness. You can get some fever, some headache, the regular kind of stuff, which lasts around 48 hours and it's going to go away.
Well,
okay?
the child vaccination, some of them come with that kind of effect too.
Oh yeah. I remember when I get my diphtheria vaccine, I couldn't move my arm for around 3-4 days. It tends to do that, but then eventually it goes away. So that's what I've been finding in all the vaccines so far, and it's because your body is kind of building up this immunity against the virus. Why your body reacts in that way? You get a little bit of fever, aches and pains and stuff, but that tells you the vaccine is actually working.
All right.
And then that will go away.
All right.
Now, something interesting. So the Pfizer, quite a few people had anaphylactic, allergic reaction. And one of the things that is in the Pfizer vaccine that may have caused it.
Tell us what is anaphylactic, please.
Sorry?
Tell us what is anaphylactic, please.
Anaphylaxis. Oh, that's a severe allergic reaction
Mm-hmm.
where, you have swelling. Some people, can you eat something and, all of a sudden your face swells, your lips swell, you can't breathe, and you can collapse and die.
Like people allergic to bees.
Yeah, right. Some people have it to bees,
Mm-hmm.
And it can kill you, and it happens within minutes of you being exposed to whatever you're allergic to.
Okay.
So there are few people. Luckily, nobody died from that because they were still, in the hospital or whatever. They were able to give them epinephrine or whatever, and the allergic reaction disappeared. Now the AstraZeneca, the one that we are getting, actually does not have that ingredient that they think cause the allergic reaction. So what they're saying is people who have a history of severe allergy who cannot take the Pfizer vaccine, they can actually take the AstraZeneca vaccine because they don't have those things that may have triggered the allergen, the allergic reaction in the Pfizer group. Also, there's no preservatives. There's no preservatives in these vaccines. It's not made from egg protein because some vaccines, if you're very allergic to eggs, you can't get some vaccines.
Oh, yeah.
These do not have any eggs in there, no soy, no sulfur, no preservative that tend to trigger allergic reaction in some people. So that's one of the good things, with especially the AstraZeneca vaccine. So what they've found with AstraZeneca, which is the one we're going to be getting, is most people just have the mild reactions I told you about, the local reactions you get to the vaccine. And it seems to be much safer in terms of adverse reaction compared to the other two vaccines that, the Pfizer and the Moderna that was released earlier. So my thing is, guys, I know my personal view, I don't want COVID-19. I know what COVID-19 does. In fact, my youngest son just got over it, a so-called mild attack, but he was sick for around 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I just don't want it. Okay. And with the spread we're having now in Jamaica, guys, it's bad. 20% of people, sometimes 1 in 5 people testing positive. That is ridiculous.
That is a lot.
What percentage of people are dying when they become infected? And Trelawny has one of the highest death rates.
So
I don't want it.
So it is said.
Hospitals running out of bed. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as this vaccine come in, I'm having it because it's fairly safe. If I get 50% protection, it's better than getting nothing. And I'm going to keep wearing my mask, washing my hands, keeping my distance. In fact, now I'm going to be staying home a whole lot more than I did last week because it's rampant out there. So this is my message to you guys. We're learning as we go along. Right now, the vaccines seem to be fairly safe. Getting the vaccine is much better than getting the disease. Mm-hmm. And it's your choice, but my choice is, man, I'm getting that stuff as soon as I can get it, and I hope you guys will follow me.
And the one that we're getting in Jamaica, as it is right now, is one of the safer ones.
Well, yeah, in terms of the allergic reaction that you saw in the Pfizer, the Oxford AstraZeneca, the one we're getting, seems to be safer. Nothing is 100% safe, but it seems to be safer than the others that you have in terms of side effects.
Okay, Dr. Thorpe, you took me to school this afternoon, believe you me, and I'm certain the listeners have been listening and hearing what you're saying, and they will have their own reaction. I'm praying that some of them will call me to comment on what they've heard from you. But we want to thank you for... Go ahead.
If you have any questions, you can always send me some text, and I can respond to you or whatever.
Okay.
But thanks for having me on, and I totally enjoyed it. And have fun.
We want to thank you very much too, Doc. You have been a ton of knowledge to us. We look forward to talking to you on perhaps Friday again about other matters. So you take good care. God bless you, and thanks for coming.
All right, take care.
Us. All right, ma'am. You're listening to Community Buzz on Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music. This is your community affairs program, and we've just done health. That is what we've just done. So you remember, Fit FM is about infrastructure, health, education, utilities, yeah, everything. So I'm hopeful that you would have gotten something out of this talk that we had with Dr. Thorpe. Now, just to reiterate some of the things that I'm certain I heard her say. One is that some protection is better than no protection at all. So we're being encouraged to take the vaccine when the time and the opportunity comes around. Two, while we're waiting around for the vaccine, continue to practice our protocol in terms of wearing our mask, washing of hands, sanitization, keeping our distance, and tanning at our yard, turning home. So stay home if you can, and utilize the protocol. This is Fit FM 96.7. We take a break. Your life, your music.
Have you ever desired to experience rebirth in your body, mind, and soul? Then join me, your host, Pastor Chadale Smallwood, aka The Poetic Revolution, on Fit FM 96.7 every Tuesday evening at 6 inside Gospel and Soul for Rebirth, where redemption eventually brings into reality total healing. That is Rebirth on Fit FM 96.7 Gospel and Soul. Your life, your music.
Every word of worship, with one accord, every praise.
Tuesday mornings on Fit FM, it's all about worship and praise. Hey, join me, the Reverend Junior Rutti, on Fit FM 96.7, 8:30 a.m. through 10 a.m. for Praise Up Tuesday, your mid-morning experience. Come with me every Tuesday as we send up the praises to our God on this station, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Y'all got it now. Help us sing it. Every praise.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Astra Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Set this up, we mean this. Yeah, so you come get your tablet. And all when you left and you happy come back on me. Know you happy by one of them your laptop. Best of business, a serious business. We sell all electrical appliances and all of your car accessories. Come and get up, you know no problem.
Best Apps Technology. Shop 25 Champion Plaza, Fama, Trelawny. Telephone 876-394-5484. Best Apps. We only deliver the best.
Willis Williams, licensed electrician services. For all residential and commercial electrical wiring, repairs, maintenance, and more, call Willis Williams, licensed electrician services, at 876-823-8271 or 358-1636. Willis Williams, licensed electrician services, located in Duncan's, Trelawny.
Phoenix Health and Vision Center now has 2 locations. St. Anne's Bay, 65 Main Street beside the Health Center. And now Shop 30 Champion Plaza, Falma, Trelawny. You heard me right. Shop 30 Champion Plaza, Falma, Trelawny. The only full-service eye care center for all your designer frames and designer glasses. Complete eye care. Book all your appointments now in St. Anne's Bay. Call 876-972-2388. 876-589-8327. For Falmouth and its environs, call this number 876-533-0540. Looking forward to seeing you at both locations. Phoenix Health and Vision Center. Now at Champion Plaza, Falmouth, Trelawny.
Some things are just never said. No. of my life, ordinary person just like you. If you take a look inside, see the great things that people do. Changing lives.
Welcome back. Welcome back, even though I'm not quite back yet. But I'm taking a little time out to just heal up some of our viewers on Facebook. Want you, Porter, G's and peace. Glad to see you. My friend from National Water Commission days till now. Former Trelawny Parish Council business manager, I think. Yeah? You, Porter, welcome to the program. Radcliffe Onfrey. Welcome to the program, sir. Welcome. No, she is a Fit FM family. She named Natasha. Yes. Welcome, Miss Hines. And all those other people who are, I thought I'd see more Facebook friends here, but I welcome and I thank all of you who tuned in right now. So we'll push some tune for a little bit, and then we're going to come back because I have to talk about the Hague show.
Some things are just never said, no. Story of my life, ordinary person just like you. If you take a look inside, see the great things that people do. Changing lives day and night, nothing I do ever makes the news. Still I have to do what's right, to the King of all kings, all praises due. Yesterday I was on a train, a little boy asked me my name. He said, sir, I've seen you before, tell me who are you? Said I am a legend that you never heard of before. I said I am a lion, but you never heard me roar. Oh, I am a hero that nobody celebrates. But if one person remembers my name, that means I made a change. I'm the man who cooks the food and feed the street people in the afternoon. I'm the lady with the broom, sweeping the halls of your son's preschool. I'm the soldier who's up all night, making sure everything's alright. And if you ask me, I'm quite fine, being an ordinary person doing what's right. Yesterday at the football game, a little girl asked me my name. She said, sir, I've seen you before, tell me who are you? I said I am a legend that you never heard of before. I said I am a lion, but you never heard me roar. I am a hero that nobody celebrates. But if one person remembers my name, that means on the ocean of fame,
I'm back for real. The community buzz is back with. Hey, me tell you my name earlier on. My name Ed Wallace here.
This is a message to the Ministry of Agriculture. I mean, I say people now to go nowhere. They get nothing.
Yes.
You
play the song.
We are read what we saw, I saw what we read.
Nice segue into what we're going to talk about now.
I'm going to tell you about the farming, pandemic get this so far as alarming. Kellyan and sweet pepper and me garden. Yam banana I'm planting. Tell you about the farming, from money. Now no money, now no food. Consider that alarming. Get the farm and start grow. We know wet the ground and start grow.
Wallet. Yes. So we're back on Community Buzz, Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music. This is your community program, your community current affairs program, man. Yes, as we said, we thank the doctor for coming on and to help us to deal with the health issues. But There's another issue on the table. We always have issues, even if I'm alone have to talk about it. Yes. But we always have some issues that we have to talk about. And this one has to do with the Hague Agricultural Show. I mean, we were looking forward to it, but I kind of started doubting when I saw October came and nothing was coming out from the planners, the usual planners of the program about the show. So I thought from then that it would be touch and go. Only to announce to you now, listeners, that the Hague Agricultural Show has been, well, firstly, it was scaled down because of COVID, as you know. Yeah, scaled down to become just a farmers market and flower show. Yeah, but recent developments is that Hague Show, the farmers market, the flower show has been cancelled because of COVID. And you see the numbers that we're running. We're looking at 270 yesterday, and we've been running in the 200, bobbing into 300 over the last week and a half or so. So we were supposed to have a representative from the JS to tell us a little bit more about it. But we have a little issue getting to her at this point in time. So just to let you know that the show itself, all the planning for a Hague agricultural something has been totally cancelled. So there will be nothing to do with that. On Ash Wednesday, that is. All right. I don't know if at some later date it is possible or we have to wait until next year again. All right. The postponement though leaves me with at least one question. It may be more than one, but at least one question, and that is, if Hague Show has to be cancelled, or the scaled down version of Hague Show has to be cancelled, how long are we going to continue with Bend Down? What's the difference between the two events in terms of crowd? I'm just curious because a few months ago now, we had a farmers market up by the multipurpose stadium, and protocols were being observed. People came, people bought, and nothing. We didn't see a spike in Trelawny resulting from that event at all. So just curious as to why the Farmers Wednesday of the Trelawny, of Trelawny JS, and of JS as a matter of fact, and it's a big event across the island. But why is it that even a scaled down version, let's say, okay, we're just going to use Trelawny farmers for the most part, and have them display their stuff and get to sell some things. Why does it have to happen that way? While we know that Bend Down keep next week, Bend Down keep the week after that. I'm only Ash Wednesday Bend Down keep. You know, so yeah, I'm kind of wondering the logic right there. And I tell you, people are disappointed. People were looking forward. We here at Fit FM, we were looking forward. No lie about that. So I don't know. Usually when we ask questions like these, we don't really get responses to them. But no fear said the question them out there. We wish for the planning team though, because somehow I am getting the feeling that Audrey Nelson and the team around her are as disappointed as we are about this cancellation. But we hope that they will hold strain. I hope they will hold strain, stay the course, and begin planning for next year again. Hoping that COVID won't be such a bother next time round. I'm going to take another short break as we prepare for our next guest, Mrs. Mrs. No man, name them long bad enough. I not even get back my speech properly yet. But we're going to be talking to Miss Trelawny Spencer Smith from Mushet High and her 4-H group. Yeah, put it that way, 4-H. So back in a moment.
And if you're ready, make we do it, and make we do it, and make we do it. Every nation have to 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 do it. Make them do it, yeah, make them do it. Make them do it, you make them do it.
This is Fit FM 96.7. Falcon Trelawny.
Roots and culture. Do it for Jah. Jah Rastafari. Roots and culture. I make we do it, I make we do it. I make we do it, I make we do it. If you're ready, make we do it. And if you're ready, make we do it. And if you're ready, make we do it. And if you're ready, make we do it. I 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 make we do it for Jah. Jah Rastafari. Rastafari. Rastafari.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I think we have online Mrs. Spencer Smith, teacher of Mushet High School and the one responsible for the 4-H club over there. Now, she took Trelawny's name abroad last week, and we're happy to welcome her on the program this afternoon to talk about the pride and joy that she has taken back home into Trelawny in relation to gardening. You all know that I have a partiality to backyard gardening, side yard gardening, front yard gardening, rooftop. Yeah, true, because I'm trying to develop the roof too, you know. So, Mrs. Spencer Smith, you here with us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
I am.
Please call me Ed. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
All right, sounds good. Mrs. Spencer, first of all, I want you to start off by telling us about this competition that you entered through 4-H and exactly what was the process.
All right, so it was a family backyard garden challenge where households were encouraged to start a garden. It didn't matter the type of garden, it didn't matter the size of the garden. They just wanted households to make a move in terms of food security in this pandemic. So whether you had a container garden or you had a piece of land that you could do a plot, it didn't matter. And I answered the call and I created a garden.
Say that again. That last part just got me.
I answered the call and made a garden. I entered.
Oh, you answered the call. All right. So you planted your garden. What was the process of judging? Well, firstly, what did you plant?
I planted many different things. Well, my yard didn't have dirt. It doesn't naturally have dirt. I have marl. So to start the process, I literally had to purchase dirt. I would then make some, not really raised beds, but a sort of raised beds, just to keep the dirt contained in a particular area so it wouldn't wash over everywhere.
I see what you mean.
I planted many different things because I didn't know what I could grow. It was my first time planting, so I decided I was going to grow everything. So I had banana, I had plantain, I had cinnamon basil, regular basil, rosemary, black mint, antelope, honeydew melon, pumpkin, red
And you say it's a small. You say it's a small plot.
It's just a little space in my yard. Just a small space. I had 3 different types of corn. Callaloo, scallion, pepper, sweet pepper, you name it. Once you could think of, I had it.
Wait a minute. Julia has a question. Julia has a question for you.
You know, you no, I'm here. So where you hang your clothes? Where you put the clothesline with all of that?
No, the clothes. No, but what I do is I use the area around the wall. Like 2 feet from the wall, right around, wrapping all around. Wherever I had a flower tree, dug it out, dug up the root, put dirt there, planted something that could be eaten. Because my aim was to avoid going to the market, and I achieved that aim. For the entire summer, I did not go to the market at all.
Whoa. Julia said that she wants to move in with you. Julia wants to move in with you. So you plan. Tell me now, how hard was it to get all of this done? Apart from the fact that you had to buy the soil, how hard was this whole engagement?
To be honest, it was extremely difficult. Difficult because of the sheer volume of crop I decided to plant. I didn't have much of each type, but I had a lot of different types. So I had, I think, 25 different crops in total. So maintaining each bed, providing to the needs of each of those plants. Because remember, I'm not doing it at a commercial level where I want to, let's say, sell the excess. I want just enough for my household. So a little bit of sun, a little bit of, and then you're having so many different little plots or beds with a little bit of this. And each plant has its own needs. It was overwhelming at times, to be honest. But it really was rewarding.
I am pleased, absolutely pleased. No, the question is, as you went through that process, this was your first time planting anything, you said. Would you do it again?
Well, I'm doing it now.
So you're continuing.
I haven't stopped. And as a matter of fact, 4-H had another program, and I think they're still taking enrollment. I'm not quite sure. I think they still are. But there is a program called REAP that 4-H offers. It's Rural Economic Empowerment, Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program, where it seeks to ensure that young persons under the age of 35, get the knowledge and the skill set as it relates to agriculture, to ensure that the country becomes food secure and not reliant on import. So I enrolled in that program as well, and I leased a piece of land that was formerly a part of the Long Pond Estate, and within the next month or so, I will officially become a farmer.
Okay. So, by the way, before I go even any further though, you know that you owe Fit FM a little bit of consideration, change, money for that plug. For that plug. So Julia is wanting corn.
Well, there's nothing to reap at the moment because today,
next crop you're continuing. You're continuing.
It
so next
wiped
crop.
out the entire thing. I mean, it was so depressing because I just didn't know how to handle the excess rainfall. I didn't know what to do. So right now we're starting from scratch.
Okay.
Everything had root rot or waterborne diseases. It was devastating, but we're starting over.
All right. What you said the name of competition again, Mrs. Smith?
4-H Backyard Family Garden Challenge.
All right. So, I have this nice backyard garden with all my bananas and my stuff, and I tried some potato the other day. I have a whole heap of gungo around there. I have Chinese thyme or beef thyme, some people call it. I put in some chickens, all of that going on for me, and can't enter the competition because me not have no family. So will you help me to look a wife, ma'am?
You don't need funding to enter the competition.
No, Julia is
funding at all.
Say that again.
You don't need any funding at all to enter. I don't know why I didn't enter. You could have entered because I really wanted Trelawny to be out there and known for its wonderful gardens.
Them bar me from entering, ma'am. Them really bar me from entering. Julia is laughing. Funny, Julia couldn't enter neither because Julia has a garden. Which she planted a whole lot of trees and stuff. She just got some big trees. She didn't enter either. But all this smiles and laughter. What would you be saying to other people now? You talk about how it's tough, but yet you're going to lease land for the extent. What would you say to other people in relation to this?
I would encourage everybody to plant a garden. I have been encouraging others. And in the moments when, honestly, when I felt like giving up, the very same persons I encouraged turn around and encouraged me. Yes. I would encourage everybody to start a garden. I'm not saying put the farmer out of business. I'm just saying help yourself and ensure that in a tough time like this, at least some of the food costs, you can take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take much to have a scallion or a pepper patch or your herb garden. But do something. Start somewhere. Don't rely on everything that comes in a box or in a package. Don't say, oh, I have no dirt. I only have marl. I had only marl too. But I did it.
Yeah, that is good encouragement.
So if you can start somewhere, even if you're going to be planting in a drinks box, if you're going to be planting in an old juice bottle, it doesn't matter. Start somewhere. Just start.
All right. Having said that and how we can start, and I keep encouraging people to start. I keep encouraging people to use agriculture, backyard gardening, yard gardening as a kind of a pivot into assisting themselves with the economic situation that we're looking at. But while we're encouraging them to do that, this is still your moment. So tell us now about the winnings. We want to hear that. Julia is interested too.
Honestly, I haven't gotten anything just yet other than seedlings and a certificate. The grand I guess it's the award ceremony would be for the end of the month where we'll find out who the overall winner is. But I feel pretty confident that I will be among the top.
Yes,
if I don't win or even place, I should at least be in the top 10 or 5 because I really did an awesome garden. And I did a good job in terms of recording, most of what we did on my Instagram page as well as on the videos that we had submitted as well. So the Instagram page is ask_gardening. And the garden really and truly was not a project for me. It was to ensure that my children understood where food came from.
All right.
And understood the importance of growing food.
I'm feeling the vibes. I'm feeling that bigger win coming to you. So far now, what you've been saying to us is that the reward for good work is more work, so you get more seeds to plant. No. You say the final judging or the final award ceremony will be when again?
Should be the end of this month, I'm told.
In the end of this month. All right. We wish you good luck. We congratulate you on moving to this level, and we wish you good luck. But I'm not going to go away or allow you to leave without telling you that me here say you are the sweet teacher. How'd that go?
Yes, I am also the parish trainer for cake baking and decorating for Trelawny 4-H clubs. Okay. So regardless of which school a child comes from, once they're desiring entering and representing the parish, I'm the person designated to assist them in that process. Hence the name, the sweeter teacher. Oh, I do so without charge, and I am a hobby baker as well. and my page is Jonah's Cakes on Instagram.
Okay.
But my aim is that whatever skill set I have, I'm able to pass it forward to the generations to come.
What do you not do? What do you not do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you also sew?
Yes, I do. I made masks and I donated them to the infirmary when we just started this lockdown in the pandemic.
I tell you, so you're also a philanthropist. I want to thank you again, Mrs. Smith, for making Trelawny proud. And I know that you're going to continue to make Trelawny and Trelawny 4-H Club even more proud in relation to what you've been doing, both from your backyard gardening, your cake baking, your sewing, and all of that kind of thing. And we wish you much luck in terms of the final judgment. Thank you for coming to Fit FM. Your life, your music. You're in the community buzz. Thank you again, Mrs. Smith.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, man. Bye. Yeah, we take a break. Sweet teacher.
Willis Williams, licensed electrician services. For all residential and commercial electrical wiring, repairs, maintenance, and more, call Willis Williams, licensed electrician services at 876-823-8271 or 358-1636. Willis Williams, licensed electrician services, located in Duncan's, Trelawny.
Amazing. You make my life feel brand new.
Join us on Be Inspired with Shuggy Tosh and DJ Jai
on Feed FM 96.7
every Tuesday between 12 noon and 2 p.m. Jamaican time.
You can also tune in via www.facebook.com/FeedFM 96.7.
You can't afford to miss it. Keep on being inspired on Feed FM.
Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, excess love, oh.
Do you operate a small business in Trelawny? Well, talk to us. Be a proud community partner of Fit FM 96.7. Let us help you reach your target audience for an unbelievably low cost. Contact our sales office today at 876-544-0791, 876-377-3442, or email us at fitfmsales@gmail.com. Fit FM 96.7, Trelawny's radio. Your life, your music.
The Spicy Hill Community Clinic is now in Duncan's. Join Dr. Donaldson and friends on Saturday, February 27th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Stephen James Infant School in Duncan's, Trelawny for Community Health Clinic. Get your doctor checkup, eye screening, pap smear, HIV and syphilis test, blood pressure check, blood sugar check, NHF card application. Donate blood at our blood drive and learn about blood pressure and blood sugar management. Registration fee is only $1,000. This community health clinic is brought to you with the kind support of Trelawny Cooperative Credit Union, Phoenix Health and Vision Care Center, Jamaica Cancer Society, Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, Carib Sales, Duncan's Bakery, Hillside Enterprise, AJAG Hardware, and the Gentle Touch of Care Training Institute. Fit FM 96.7 will be there to bring live updates throughout the day. All COVID-19 protocols will be observed. That's the Spicy Hill Community Clinic coming to Duncan's at the Stephen James Infant School on Saturday, February 27th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with live coverage from Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
I'll never give up my faith. No, I'll never give up my faith. Faith and sin,
some of his men to pass through every now and then, and they were given the power to sow discord among brethren. And then they made a stop in the Rastaman's camp, and they found out we don't ramp, so they started to run, and no one was chasing them. Back where evil spirit, feel the spirit and I know it. Go where? I see you coming from every side, but I didn't run. No, I didn't. I just guide and protect me, so no wicked cannot test me. You see, when I come across men like these, I just go down on my knees and I beg you please to rid me of my enemies. Yes, every time I come across men like these, I just go down on my knees and I beg you please to rid me of my enemies. So back where evil spirit, back where feel your spirit and I know it. Go where I see you coming on every side, but I didn't run. No, I didn't. I just guide and protect me, so no wicked cannot test me. I will never give up my faith. So Lucifer, you better get this straight, that I'm a son of the Most High and I'm heading through Mount Zion's gate. That I will never give up my faith. So Lucifer, you better get this straight, that I'm a son of the Most High and I'm heading through Mount Zion's gate. Said I will never give up. No, I'll never give up. No, I will never give up. No, I'll never.
We go for say the man on the turntable, Fred Locks, but turntable age me bad, not sure. Turntable age me bad. So that was the sound of Fred Locks. Yeah, Curly Locks. Never give up the fight, that one there? Yeah? Yeah, man, a big tune. All right, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I didn't mention this. When I gave you the statistics for COVID, I didn't mention that there were 4 deaths over the past 24 hours. 4 deaths. So you have that. And a reminder, we have 6,096 active cases. We have 16 cases in Trelawny, discovered in Trelawny over the past 24 hours. And then, St. James is running 22, St. Anne is running 19, Manchester is running 38. I say Manchester running 38, producer, but Manchester has been under curfew for a while. No, it doesn't look like it's abating at all, But you see, the doctor reminded us, to just stick to the protocols. Stick to the protocols. Stick to the protocols until the vaccine comes. Incidentally, we just got a piece of news item from, I think, Loop News about the Minister of Health welcoming AstraZeneca vaccine into the country. And that is a good thing. It's a good move, a move in the right direction. So we're hoping that it will get to all the persons that it should get to in time. Especially, let me just take time out. Jesus and peace. This enough. It was supposed to be a sidebar, but it's not. I want to just big up. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I want to big up all our frontline workers who are doing the right thing. Yes. We want to big them up. We want to thank them for the job. But do you know, people, that I went to the hospital a few days ago? Let me try to remember exactly when. It may have been Friday. I think it may have been Friday. And would you believe that I go down to the hospital and I went to the pharmacy to do some documentation and get some documentation in? And lo and behold, to my surprise and utter horror, and I am not being dramatic, I saw this porter walking up and down on the hospital compound in and through the pharmacy area with no mask at all. No mask at all. And then had the audacity to be hugging up people and showing off that if you have God in your life, nothing can happen to you. Yes, if you have God in your life, nothing can happen to you. Walking and hugging and showing off. And so I went to one of the offices, administrative offices, down beside the theater at Falmouth Hospital. And I went to report it. And two nurses or persons who look like nurses were in the offices. One was just coming in because she went in ahead of me, but she doesn't seem like a nurse. And nobody seemed surprised or anything about my report. In fact, I was sent to another office, the administrative office, that is related to Cornwall Regional, to report the thing. And I'm saying, hold on, wait a minute now. So already I have made a report. The report is made on the hospital grounds and nobody saw it as something to move on. When I was explaining, one of the security guard asked me, and I'm sure I'm not mad yet, if I am sure that it was a hospital worker. I see the man carry the box, they move the box, them on trolley in a porter uniform, the pink top, moving boxes in and out of perhaps storage area and doing him thing as if COVID not keep. No, it is bad when it happens outside of the hospital, but on hospital property, man, oh gosh. And nobody to rein him in. Nobody at all to rein him in. Hospital, CMO, medical health officers and chief medical health officer, senior medical health officer, please, if you don't even investigate this one, I have no reason to come here and see what I've said. So please, maybe you need a weekly, one day out of the week, you have a morning meeting with all your staff, if you can get the time, or shift change or whenever, to remind them about the role they play at the hospital and the care that they must take, the care that they must, care with which they must treat themselves. This should not be happening. This should not be happening. And the COVID fight seems to be trending in a direction where it's going to get harder. We don't want nobody to assist that process, that whole thing. We really don't want anybody to assist that. And certainly not in the hospital at all. So, Falmouth Hospital, look into that, please. You may want to look into that. This is not an order. I'm asking you to look into it. You may want to look into it and see what you can do to ensure that your staff protect themselves and protect the people on the hospital compound. And what is frightening about it on the hospital, compound, and with a porter from time to time has to interact with patients, and patients may mean pre-existing conditions. Yeah, so we have that transfer plus the reverse transfer where a patient comes in and might be in contact with that porter, and we are looking at another issue for him and his family. So you may want to check it out. I'm just saying, you may want to check it out. Another item from Loop News is that we now have 36 cases, and cases on the south camp correctional facility in Kingston. And so I don't know if it is 36 total from the time COVID started. I'm not so sure whether or not it is 36 discovered in the 270 that we had yesterday. But it is more likely to be the latter. It is more likely to be 36 out of the 270 yesterday, especially given the figures for St. Catherine and Kingston. All right, so COVID now ramp. COVID still a keep. COVID still a keep. So you have to be careful. Which is why, again, I come back to my argument and my question in relation to Bendon and Hague Show. If it is that bad, I don't. It's not that I want Hague Show to keep per se, or that I want Bendon to lock down per se, but there must appear to be some logic, or else people go and question it. Why we keeping Bendon open and locking down Hague Show? Right? What's the rationale behind that? I'm not so sure. I trust the authorities for the most part, so I expect that they have a good explanation for that. But for us out here looking on, look so kosher. We don't understand it. We don't understand it. All right? So we need to be careful with this COVID thing. COVID now ramp, and COVID is here for another period. This is the second swing or third swing COVID is taking at us, because what we have the initial COVID experience. Then we have coming roundabout in the December area, we had and after the election and all of them kind of activity, we had a little bit of a spike, which was recognized as our second round. And then now this is the third round, because we're looking now is perhaps the third round, because we're looking now at perhaps a more contagious form of COVID-19, and in terms of the British and South African strain. So we have a battle on our hands. We have a battle on our hands. I don't know why we all don't want to deal with it properly, but we have a battle, and the weakest link can fail us. The weakest link can fail us. All right, so moving on to other things. I told you that I wasn't going to make Mrs. Garwood's death, and Fit FM is not going to allow Mrs. Garwood's death to go passing as a 9-day wonder. I'm not so sure what we can achieve out of just saying to people, the people of Jamaica, people all over, and the authorities in Jamaica, that we need immediate help now in relation to this, and that we should give ourselves a chance. The government should give the citizens a chance to help ourselves with respect to this crime thing by including us at the grassroots level into the planning for crime. Last week I had asked that, one grouping that we already have is one grouping, but we can split it in two because it's JLP and PNP. The workers of the individual parties are really a grouping of people that we can utilize in terms of assisting with the formulation of other groups to plan for crime fighting. And I don't know if that is a good one. I'm just pushing out idea out there. All of them not most good. All of them certainly not foolproof. But I'm encouraging other people to come out with their own vision of a plan to stem crime and violence on the front end rather than on the back end when people dead already and all kind of your house broke already, your things them gone already, all that kind of thing. All right. So we're not making it, and every time we think about fighting crime, especially here in Trelawny and in terms of Falmouth, in terms of getting some things going, we must always remember in the back of our mind 3 people: Mrs. Garwood, Miss Geddes in Sherwood, and Little Miss Brown in South Trelawny. There's also the taxi driver that was up, or the businessman up there in Southern Trelawny. And there's also the bus driver from Sherwood who also was shot last year. Silver Bullet or something like that. Right? So all these, when we look at all these people, diverse in terms of, look and occupation and everything. So it suggests to me that it could be any one of us. Any one of us. So we all have a stake, and enlightened self-interest should dictate how we respond as a group, as a community, to these acts of terrorism. All right? And when I say terrorism, believe you me, not for we know afraid to say something to our next man or our next person, even when they are in the wrong. We just take it and go on because we are now paralyzed by fear. We cannot even defend our rights in terms of words, in terms of verbalizing. We can't tell a man too hard. Say, yo, say you just mashed me too. Where you deal with, boy? Next thing you hear, shots fired. All right. And I'm not being overly dramatic. I know I'm not being overly dramatic because we have a tendency, even in greeting, to be so aggressive that aggression is now second nature. Recall, like, we mix up everything, Recall that plane load of people coming from Britain last year with this rascal man who feels his Jamaican identity is recognizable or best recognizable through aggression. And that's how we behave, So we just have to look at ourselves, Jamaica. We just have to look at ourselves, yeah? All right, now, so continuing on the matter crime and violence. I see Mark Wignall on Facebook. He's one of my Facebook friends. I see Mark Wignall on Facebook writing on about 4 points. 4 points. In the first point that he made, he reminded us that last year he was shot. I drive him car down the road and was shot. Now, he said some other things about firearm and thing, which now is going to become a debate. But he says publicly that he's a licensed firearm holder. All right? And he makes that point to say that he has something to defend himself. I don't know how many people are as privileged as Mark in that regard. But I'm going to show you what it's coming down to. Mark said, live in an area that it's guaranteed if some unfortunate young man loses his way and finds himself there on his ill-informed murder for hire job, his exit from that community will be terribly difficult. Paraphrasing, and I hope this capture what Marcus say. Marcus say, if you come in my community, come try carry out your murder thing, you're not likely to come out alive. Right? That is what he's saying. It's progressing. Here is a bigger problem, he says. In the area I live, let me read that again. I can't read more for myself than I read for people. So bear with me. But here is the bigger problem in the area I live. In my mind, that I can work out that I have. And I go on for it. Oh, all right, let me get the context now. So Mark is saying that the bigger problem is that he has worked out in his mind that within the context of this kind of violence and killing and all of that, he has about a 96% chance of seeing the next day. Mark has calculated that there is a 4% chance that through crime and violence, he may not live to see tomorrow. That's a big, big thing, you know. When you leave your yard saying that there's a 4% chance that you're not come back home. When you have to get down to that kind of calculation, we're in a problem. And it's not like he's lying. I'm not complaining about what Mark is saying. I fully agree with him. Some of us have less chance than that. Some of us have 80%. Some of us is 50-50. And particularly with our younger ones, our young men. And then finally, he makes a point or asks a question. Just what is it that can be done to ensure that the social classes actually recognize that it is to their benefit to understand and to coexist? No, this is simply say, what it take us, the rest of us, to understand that we have learned to live together. Every step on a tour requires a fight. Everything named this and require death. What is it going to take to make us know that we can live better than that? What does it take also, and the point I made earlier on, is inherent or is embedded, is latent in this one. When are we going to recognize as communities, as individuals in communities, that we have a vested interest in helping to fight crime? It can be like COVID, it can be any one of us. And we plead the blood of Jesus over that. But we have to act. We cannot cower in fear. We have to understand that this monster is not going away. If anything, it's coming. Mark is also saying that he's preparing for it. He and his community is prepared for it when it comes. Now, hear the thing about Mark's community now. Mark's community have people with a whole heap of legal guns. They perhaps have a neighborhood watch too that has a blow whistle. Everybody know that it's time to be activated to stop a crime. But poor people will not organize. True, we don't have no gun. But there are other means that we can use to unite and fight this monster. As I say, the monster not going. It's coming. Because it's looking for people who are vulnerable. And we are far more vulnerable singularly, individually, than we would be vulnerable as a community. So when a big one like Mark write this, we have to start looking now at how are we going to make a comeback from this precipice. Again, last week someone might label me as overly dramatic. But when the nation is not secure, when a nation cannot secure itself, which is the first order of business for any community, any nation, any country, to protect its citizens. When we cannot do that, no care how much money we make, we're teetering on the edge of a failed state. Pablo Escobar never short of money. And these cronies never short of money. But they could have impacted their country in such negative ways that they would have been failed state. And it was up to them. If the state didn't get the better of them, it was up to them to determine when they launch any kind of assault on the state. Notwithstanding that they were already doing it, policemen were being killed, soldiers were being killed. Big confrontation was taking place, as if armies at war. I'm saying to you that the do nothing attitude is not helpful. Make we start to cooperate with each other to get something done. Let us start to cooperate to get something done. And if you know Mark Wignall, if anybody here hearing me now is used to reading or listening to Mark Wignall, you will also know that 70% of the time in dirt, in word not drop a ground. He has his pulse on something in Jamaica that can inform us at all times. So we're really in a terrible position. Make we start, put minds and our hearts together and see if we can find a way out of this hole. Because Jamaica can fail and will fail if we don't stop it. We take a break here on Community Buzz, Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music. You're listening to your host, Ed Wallace.
Tomorrow, chances of rising again seems hollow. Doubts may be in your mind. Oh, give it time, and all will be fine. Today you're down. Comes tomorrow, chances of rising again seems hollow. Doubts may be in your mind. Oh, give it time, and all will be fine. See, you cannot make it, but you can. Though the roads may be winding and long, our feet might get weary, but not our minds. We will find light in the darkest of time. And we are tomorrow's keepers. Wake up now, bright nation of thinkers, mighty triumphant fellas, be a beacon of all. Today you're down, comes tomorrow. Chances of rising again seems hollow. Doubts may be in your mind. Oh, give it time, and all will be fine. Today you're down, comes tomorrow. Chances of rising again seems hollow. Doubts may be in your mind. Oh, give it time, and all will be fine.
Yeah, welcome back to Community Buzz, your community affairs program here on Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music. You know, say, because I'm a bad man, me not even bother repeat the number 876-482-4944 if you not call me. But it's all right. God forgiving, and He might teach me an issue with forgiveness. So, me give you it. Me come back and give you it now. So 876-482-4944. Give us a call if you have anything to say. Yeah, WhatsApp. Run us a WhatsApp if you have anything to say. curious little situation in Jamaica over the last few days. This lady come to Jamaica. Julia is so passionate about this one. She want to take over the program right now. Trelawny, well, one of our pride, even though we're concerned about crime in the parish, one of our pride is that we have a very low kind of a crime rate. Left Merca, a black woman too, you know. Left Merca. Come to Jamaica upon our work, because she work on the airline. And for some reason, reported that she was kidnapped. Me, I don't understand this because bad to bad, kidnapping and no one a Jamaica crime. Jamaica no really deal with the kidnapping thing because Jamaica no watch no face. Not that we're any better all round, but it's just out of character to find a kidnapping. It's a strange fruit. A strange fruit. So I don't know. The question of prosecution was discussed. And then we hear that she can't be prosecuted. But me not understand this thing. I guess it complicates the matter because she's Jamaican in her roots. But we have a bad enough name already. For her to attempt to stamp it in the ground for whatever reason is not a good look. Now, she may have had some legitimate reasons for doing it. Some not legitimate, because legitimate suggests legal. But she may have had some good reason to do it. Like her life was in danger if she not pull a stunt like that. Or something. But I think she owes the Jamaican people and the people of Trelawny an apology. Big apology at the very least. I don't know what is going to happen when she gets back to the States. She's back now. And I don't know if she's coming back to Jamaica. But a Jamaica in her yard, so we can't stop her. I'm not locking out no Jamaican out of Jamaica. Can't lock. And that principle is from when we turn back the ship with the Jamaican them for COVID. I'm not lock out no Jamaican out of Jamaica for this. We don't have nowhere else. But she owes us an apology. She owes us, at the very least, an explanation as to why she did what she did. Because that is not very nice. That is not very nice. I'm sure some people will be on the case and we will hear more on the streets about that particular case. Why she did what she did. But I was looking through the Gleaner and I said, this afternoon, I want to end the program on the note of some better looking news. So I'm looking at the one I see to see. Call this church sus if you want. A prayer request was made. Let me see if I can read it. I'm going to read good. And remember that. Just not kill my feet. It was a simple prayer request that induced what is now described as a God-approved union between two best friends. And the names of the persons are called. They were attending Bible college when the Holy Spirit set in. Yeah. When the Holy Spirit set in and made this happen. So we have a nice little love story coming outside of the church, coming from inside of the church to us. And I think I wish them all the best because they're married, calling themselves soulmate, and perhaps appropriately so, because I think jointly they're trying to get their souls into heaven when that time comes around. So that's a beautiful little story. I don't know that I was as romantic as I could be with it, but I like the story because I'm the type of guy who love. Yeah. Hopeless romantic. So stories like these I kind of like, you know? Yeah. So that story is there. That's a good one. Now, we have at least, I said the gleaner. I know the gleaner we, because the gleaner can't report it if we not do it. We have a Clarendon business doubling production. When you have a company doubling production in a this time, whatever they're producing, people are in jobs and they're earning money. And so that company there in Clarendon, I don't want to open it because it's a video actually, and it's going to make noise in a Julia studio. But that's a good thing. I'm searching for good news, because I'm hard to find. In any case, there's still good things happening in Jamaica. We are an enigma as a nation. An enigma just one full word. I mean, say, boy, we're confused. If we love and hate, so mix up that, funny. We love and we hate, and we love and we hate. And sometimes, alternate like that. Sometimes we do the two of them at the same time. Jamaica is still up to this point a good place to live. Still up to this point, the place that I love the most. But it can go the wrong way. Make we do some more good things for bring it in the right direction. Make we see if we can be, let me see, sweeter on our messages to the youth. And what I mean by that, if we bring over our message to the youth in an aggressive way, in a commanding way, we might not get the best responses. So I could see if we can take time to talk to them and coax them into looking at Jamaica in a more positive light as a whole. Yeah, there are good youth here too, certainly. And we praise God for them. But I'm saying, let us, as a nation, begin to treat each other much better, less aggression. Let us try to be more tolerant overall. Because when it all comes down, the whole of we can live. And the whole of we can live in harmony. So there's no point in killing off each other. Last week I had intended to talk to a justice of the peace, and I hope I can get one next week. Rachel, if you're listening, new justice of the peace, to see how even that institution can help to shape peace in Jamaican communities, just to see how it can work out. I have another foolful idea that says even though we have the petticoat and the lay magistrates court in these central areas, sometime we might want to, at some point we might want to look at having JPs looking at conflict resolution officially in their communities. So two people out there have a fight over line borders. We go to the JP and we see how we can sort it out. And a judgment rendered, which is considered legal. And we move on. Because sometimes the fight them even develop, taking matters into your own hands, or in people taking matters into their own hands. Sometimes reflect the fact that a Stuart Castle there and found too far. They go take my bus fare. So might as well me just lick down the man and go on. But if you had a system where a JP was somewhere in Stuart Castle, and we encourage people when you have those low-level conflicts that can explode, you just say, boy, you don't say me I go up a mass Uriah, go complain to him about this. I'm making contact to you because me not take this and nothing can go so. Rather than begin a fight which might not end well. You think me make a point, producer? Yeah. No, sometimes I talk and I wonder if people understand me. So that's why I'm ask you. So some of these little things on the front end, I'm saying solving crime on the front end. Some of these little things that we put in place, these little ideas, may go to some solution to some of the things that we're facing. Yeah? Man and his wife have fight. Wife beat the man till he have to go run, go hide under the bed. But the neighbor them here and go to Mass Uriah, go say, Mass Uriah, say Joan beat Shaky Boy last night till he's sick. Go find out what happened and make us see if we can resolve this. Because right there in the beating, violence has started. So make us see if we can make we even think about some like a community court thing. So Rachel, if and when you and I talk, I'm looking to pitch you with some ideas and as a new JP, and for you to tell me some of the things that the JPs are doing or mandated to do in relation to dispute resolution, conflict resolution. I remember about 8 years ago, though, Rachel, that we had a very active discussion about conflict resolution too, where I was on the side of conflict avoidance as a part of resolution, and you strongly implied that avoidance and resolution are two separate things, which is true, but is a result I was looking for. So we can perhaps have that discussion again, Rachel. So I'm going to name. I'm going to stop Rachel Webb. I hope to talk to you soon. I wish you all the best for the week coming as it rolls in. I mean, it's here. The time is running fast. Believe you me, I'm loving this program. I'm loving being with you. I would prefer to have you call me sometimes, but be that as it may, I want to bid you a very good week, and we look forward to meeting again, God willing, next week, Monday. You take good care. Bye.
Soldier say, Rasta don't work for no CIA. Just sent us here to show the way. Oh yeah, Rasta don't work for no politician. True Rasta man is a good and upright man. So he will live, yes, he'll live forevermore. Through the mercy, he'll enjoy. So just say, according to your word, you will get paid. So try to live in an upright way. Tell the people